has come.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to episode 3 of Brocast. I'm chilling in the Retro Stadium room, but not alongside me. I do not have DJ Thicky. Where is DJ?
DJ's right in the house behind you, mate. On his computer, mate. I'm literally, if you knock out about 5 or 6 walls and a fence, I'm literally I'd probably say Doggo about 35 metres behind you, mate.
Yeah, you're right. I could kick the footy over your fence and you might actually catch it through the window.
If I knock down this wall, a few more walls, knock down the fence, knock down your sliding door, knock down a wall, I'm in your house, mate. I'm in your room. I'm eating some biscuits.
You are, mate. And
I'm telling you that, mate.
We're looking forward to this because we're going to start getting the podcast series rolling, roll out, mate. Because honestly, there's so many different subjects we can talk about.
There's so many. Like you can talk about CDs versus tapes, Blu-ray versus DVD. Like you could just talk about anything. Man.
Absolutely, man. And so we have not got Double D on tonight.
Yeah.
He'll be on future episodes. That's for damn sure. Don't worry about that.
He's with Double E, isn't he? Hanging tonight.
He's hanging with Double E.
He's hanging with some Double E's, mate.
He does love some Double D's.
He does. He loves Double E's as well. He doesn't. You know what? He doesn't actually. Fucking insult. Any double letters. Like he loves them all. Double A's, double B's, double C's, double D's.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
He loves them all.
So DJ, why don't you tell the fine folk at home listening to the download on podbean.com.
Yeah, right
or
now.
Or watching it on YouTube right now.
Right now. I got to tell them, I'm very excited this week, Doggo, because as you know, Game of Thrones is coming back, and I've been waiting 2 long years for this to come back. And I remember when they said they weren't going to release it, the year after, I was actually shocked, and I was like, oh my God, 2 years is going to be so long. How am I going to wait 2 years? And guess what? We're literally like 4 days away.
Yeah.
We are 4 days away from the release of the final season, and I'm excited. I'm telling you what, I've got fresh socks for the next 4 days, mate. I'm telling you, I'm that excited. I can't wait.
What about you? How have you got fresh socks, mate? That's unreal.
Mate, I'm telling you, I've got a good missus, and she knows how to wash and dry my socks. Just saying, every man needs a good sock dryer, mate. That's about it.
That's all I can say. I respect that. I respect the fresh socks.
You love clean socks, man. I've seen you parade around, in your house, fucking gallivanting around, thinking you rolled that in a bag of potato chips with your fresh socks on, man.
I carry potato chips with my socks. Yes, you're right.
That's how much of a man you are, mate. I'm just like, how do you get away with that? It's like you got a bag of Doritos. Your missus carries your salsa for you. You just dip. You walk around and you're just like, oh, can I have some salsa? Boom, on demand.
on demand.
On demand salsa, man.
So
yeah, but what's been happening with you though? What's been going on?
I'll tell you what. So yeah, a little quick update. Just been a little bit quiet on the YouTube of late, I must admit.
Because we're still banned, is that why? Or?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. We are still banned, and it's taken a lot of the mojo out of YouTube for me.
Definitely.
It really has. It shit me to tears. But at the same time, it hasn't stopped me from joining a lot of the guys on their live streams because, this is Doggo talking now, and a lot of the guys do know me from... when I jump on their streams and have a little chat with them and stuff. But I guess the last week or two, I've been a little bit quiet. I've been just too busy to jump on everyone's streams, which I apologise. And the mojo isn't there to kind of create videos and YouTube, so it's been a little bit quiet on the Retro Bros front. But
I think you've got a lot of mojo, man. The way if anyone hasn't seen Doggo play video games, he's got a lot of mojo, ladies and gentlemen, and he's made a baby, so that means you've got some sort of mojo going on there, mate.
Some sort of mojo, different kind of mojo.
Yeah, the special mojo.
But one of the main reasons I wanted to do this podcast, as you can all see and tell from the title of this, it's Mortal Kombat versus Street Fighter.
Massive, bro. I mean, this is one of the greatest. People talk about Brexit, all this stuff going on. We've got an election coming up, and it's like, no one cares.
No.
There are popular You know what I mean? And well-needed discussions about important topics that, need to happen in society. And this is one of them, the ever-ending debate, Doggo,
It is.
of Street Fighter versus Mortal Kombat. I mean, it'll be around forever. And I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna finish it tonight. We are gonna nail it. We're gonna make a decision on what is the better game.
Yeah, we will. What's the better game for the Retro Bros? Because it's going to be very... I mean, it's our opinion, right? It's our opinion, but a lot of people have different thoughts and...
But I can tell you what, Dog, you and I might even have different opinions.
We might. We definitely might. And that's the good thing about it, right? If we all agreed on everything, then it would be kind of shit. So...
Yeah.
And so one of the main reasons was just on the past weekend, I attended a Mortal Kombat 2 arcade tournament.
That's hot. That's hot, mate.
That's
exactly what Perth needs. Exactly what our city needs. More tournaments.
It does, because there's an awesome new place called Palace Arcade here in Perth.
Great place. Great place.
Yeah, we've both been there once. It's my second time going on the weekend. Obviously, I'll join them on Facebook or whatnot, and they're starting to do actual arcade tournaments. The first one they held like last month was a Street Fighter 2 championship. Unfortunately, I didn't get to make that. Saw little bits and pieces, videos, and it looked awesome. Like just the whole, I love that competitive feel. That's kind of why we do like the what's it called, the seasons, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, bro.
So it's pretty much just up my alley, man. This is what I love to do. So I had to jump on the Mortal Kombat 2 tournament, and I just did that last weekend. I don't know where I came, but I got to the third round, and I did get knocked out by the eventual winner of the tournament. And as soon as he beat me, I said to my mate who I was with, I said, mate, he's going to win this. And of course he did. So I'm a good judge of character, or gameplay, I should say.
Oh, I love that. And a good judge of character too. Don't doubt yourself, mate. You are a good judge of character as well. 100%.
Yeah, and he's a good guy as well, actually. Really good guy that won it. But the funny thing is, the guy he versed was the guy who won the Street Fighter 2 championship a month earlier.
Wow. So this guy that played the Street Fighter 2 championship, he was like fucking multi-skilled, man.
I know.
He was like bilingual. Like he could speak multiple languages, but he can play multiple games.
Yep.
Like, this guy. So this guy, because you didn't tell me this, so this guy, he won the Street Fighter competition.
Yeah.
And then he's like, fuck it, I'm going to go for Mortal Kombat as well. This guy's like, I'm going to get 2 in a row here.
Yeah, almost did it.
2 the fighting tournaments of all time. Do you know what? He would have been great to have on this podcast.
Yeah, he probably would be actually, because he'd have...
Very, very different, I think that's what we're going to talk about later, Doggo. I think just it's very different tactically in those 2 games, isn't it, and because Street Fighter's a more slower moving game.
Well, this is the thing. Before we get right into it, we have to sort of set a rule for ourselves, I think. And it's a rule where I think makes sense in a way, because
no blood code.
Because when we think Mortal Kombat, I mean, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, there's 5, it goes up all the way, right? So we have to set ourselves a limit of an era of these games, right?
I'm telling you right now, when I think Mortal Kombat Street Fighter, I just think literally I would not go past Mortal Kombat 3.
That's right.
And I would not go past Street Fighter 2. That's for me. Like I'm not, because there was Street Fighter. There was Street Fighter 2, like with all Cammy and like, look, people love all that stuff, but then it got too fast and there's too many different characters. I'm talking, baby. I'm talking about the original. I'm talking about Dowsing.
I'm talking about.
I'm talking about. I'm not talking about Cammy and all those other characters, or any other Street Fighter versus X-Men. I'm not talking about, yes, I love playing that on arcade, but I'm talking about the original Super Nintendo, you know what I mean? Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat. No, I don't want to go any further than that.
Okay, so...
Are you happy with that? Or do you want to go to like the PlayStation and all the other Mortal Kombats? And...
You've nailed it. So basically we're talking cartridge-based fighters.
Yeah, respect. I like that. I like that.
So the thing is with Street Fighter, I mean, we're not even actually including Street Fighter, the original, because who's played that shit, right? Not many people.
No one likes
when
that.
You think Street Fighter, you think Street Fighter 2 straight away.
Exactly.
Yeah, but
Exactly.
there's
100%.
but the problem is with Street Fighter Two, there's always different versions. Street Fighter Two, Championship, Street Fighter Two Super, Street Fighter Two Turbo, Street Fighter Two Hyper. There's always
Mm,
different incarnations of the game,
mm.
um, but that's how we're going to have to call it from the original Street Fighter. Remember the first Street Fighter we hired out on the SNES, and it's got just the 6 characters, or the
Remember
8 characters. Sorry, isn't it?
what? The original Street Fighter?
Yeah,
Oh, I think it's no, it might be 10, isn't it?
uh, 8.
You got
I think it's
Bison. Wait,
8.
hold on. You got Bison, Vega, Sagat, E Honda, Chun Li,
Yep.
Dowsum, Ryu, Ken, Guile. That's 9. So there must be one
Yeah.
more.
So no,
Who are
you
you
had
missing?
no, no, no. I reckon you had 8. You had 8 playable
No,
characters.
I literally just ready. Hold on. Bison.
Playable, playable,
Wait,
playable.
can play Bison in Street Fighter 2.
Ah, see, in Street Fighter 2 Turbo or Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition, you could. But remember the
No,
original Street Fighter
no.
2?
In the original Street Fighter, you could go Bison, man.
No, they were only bosses.
What?
Yeah.
No.
You,
Well, I'm talking. No. Well, I don't. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about the Street Fighter that you can go Sagat, Vega,
that's right.
and Bison.
Because that's basically Street Fighter. Let's
No, it
say,
was cartridge based though, wasn't it?
yeah, 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 you're right. It's normal Street Fighter 2 on the Super
Yeah,
Nintendo, the
with
original ones
Bison,
that
with
we
Bison,
played.
with Bison.
Yeah, that was like the expansion of Street Fighter 2. Do you know what I'm saying?
Was it?
Yeah.
I don't know, doggo.
Bro.
I believe you. I
Yeah.
believe you. I believe my bro here. I believe my fellow bro. But yeah,
So
I
yeah,
don't think you're right. I don't think you could go
it's
Bison
called Street
in the
Fighter
original.
2 The World Warrior. Yeah?
I don't think you're right. I don't think
Yeah.
you're 100% right. I don't think yeah, I don't think Bison was.
No, he wasn't. So Championship
Yeah,
Edition was after that, right? And that's when you could
yeah.
select Cigar, Balrog, Vega, and Bison.
That's 100. I remember that because ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about that scene, the opening scene. Where it goes down from the building and there's that punch at the start. I mean, you can't get better than that, honestly.
And that music. That
And
music
that
is.
music, the music makes it. It just made you want to play.
Yeah, you could hear that walking into like a fish and chip shop or even a time zone with all the other games around. That just stands out.
Hey, mate, do you know? It just actually that music just wants to like inspire you to get out off. A computer. Not do a podcast. Actually, do something meaningful. You know what I mean? Like actually go out and change the world. Like for any Greenpeace warrior that's on a ship trying to save the environment, or what do we call it? Like World Vision or whatever. Like these people, they need to listen to that Street Fighter music, mate, and it would get them pumped up and inspired for the day. What do you think? Like, it just makes you want to achieve something. Like
Yeah.
get up to work in the morning, you hear that Street Fighter music. I guarantee you'll be in the shower, you'll be in that car before you can say, "How's your father?"
How? Yeah, good call.
Yeah. Oh
Um,
mate. Street
so
Fighter, mate.
all right, so look, basically you got your Ryu, your Ken, your E Honda, your Guile, your Chun Li, your Blanka, your Zangief, and your
Yeah, yeah.
Dhalsim, the
Mm-hmm.
original 8. And that's what it was. That's what it was until, let's say, the equivalent. Let's say you got Mortal Kombat 1, you got your 7 characters, right? So
Yeah,
almost equivalent. Then Mortal
yeah,
Kombat 2 came out, added some
yeah,
extra characters, just like
yeah.
Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition added extra
Mm-hmm.
characters.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of got to look at it like that in a way, I reckon. And then Mortal Kombat 3 had obviously a lot more characters, and Street Fighter 2, I guess, went from Street Fighter 2 Hyper to like Super Street Fighter, which had
Yeah.
Cammy and DJ and those
Mm-hmm.
guys.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's probably the variation of the Street Fighters we have to look at.
Yeah,
What do you
I
reckon?
agree. Well, I just for me because in Mortal Kombat, like when people say Mortal Kombat, right? Like they still think of Smoke, they still think of like Rain, Striker, Shiva, Katana, Melina. Like even though they weren't the originals, like Kano, Raiden, Liu Kang,
Hmm.
but people still think like of those as characters, like Sector and Cyrex. So I think Mortal Kombat, like you have to include those characters. the extra subby and stuff like that. So I think Mortal Kombat 3 trilogy, that's it. No more.
Yeah,
No
yeah,
more.
yeah.
Up to Mortal Kombat 3 and then up to Street Fighter 2 with Bison, because we're allowing both games to have those extra characters than the original.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think, when they started making more characters, no one really liked that, Doggo. I'm sorry, no one actually did.
How do you know no one
That's
did?
just my opinion. People can agree or disagree, but when people think Street Fighter, man, they think right back from the start. That's me. They think right back from the start.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, yeah. So basically, we're going to talk about those '90s fighting games: Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat. I mean, yeah. Let's get into it. I mean, you got. Did we even talk? We talked about basically the Street Fighter 2 characters.
So how do you want to do this? Do you want to talk about the characters first and the development of the characters, or do you want to talk about the gameplay first, or
I don't know.
do you
We
want
could
to go
just
like?
talk
Do you want
about.
to talk about like, if we say like characters? Do you want to talk about like, okay, Mortal Kombat characters v Street Fighter characters?
True.
Or how do you want to talk about? How do you want to talk about it?
Honestly, man, you can just take it in all different directions, whichever kind of comes to mind.
Well,
Because this is
I think let's I think the most important thing for a fighting game, right? For me, is the ability to learn the characters easily, but takes time to master them. What do you think about that?
that's good. I mean, yeah, we could even talk about some stories from when we grew up and how hard it was to learn, and just taking
Oh
from
man,
our own memories. Like if we, like, ladies and gentlemen, back in the day, hiring out myself and Josh hire out a Super Nintendo from the video store with
hmm
Street Fighter 2,
hmm
and I'm
hmm
pretty sure it was the original Street Fighter 2 with
hmm
only 8 characters, and we
It
would
was. It
try
was.
and master the Hadoukens, and remember trying to finally master holding back for 2 seconds and then forward.
Cruchets, yeah.
Oh man, and that took us a long time as kids. I'm not sure how old we were at the time. What do you reckon? Maybe
Oh, bro, I'm talking at least 8 years old.
8 years old, yeah. and
At
and
least
and
8 or
finally
9. Yeah.
mastering the holding down for 2 seconds and up and back for two
Yeah.
seconds forward, and
Yeah, and we
feeling so
realized
good.
we could charge and block at the same time. That's what
Yes.
changed our lives.
Yeah, it changed our lives.
It actually did. No, it actually, ladies and gentlemen, it actually did, because once we realized we could block, we could block and charge at the same time. That's when it was huge, wasn't it? Because then we could realize we could do both things. You know what I mean? We can block and then, like, especially if you're Guile, you
Yeah,
could block and getting attacked and then boom, sonic boom.
yeah, that's right. And yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I've got here 1992 Street Fighter 2 was ported to the Super Nintendo. So
Yeah,
wow, that's unreal.
that's huge, isn't it?
Yeah,
Massive, massive.
yeah, it's so yeah, so it was wow. So Street Fighter 2 is released in 1991 in the arcade.
Yeah, and that's
Far
what I
out.
remember as well. Like I remember, like I even remember hiring out Mortal Kombat like on your Sega. I think it was Mega Drive. Yeah, you used
Yep,
to hire out a Mega Drive,
Mortal
and we
Kombat
played that,
original.
and I loved that. I mean, I loved Mortal Kombat because Street Fighter. We actually played Street Fighter first, Doggo.
Yeah, definitely.
We actually played Street Fighter, and then we played Mortal Kombat. And for me, um, Street Fighter for me was so well developed. The more I think about Street Fighter now, I just think about how much of a great game it actually is. Like that game, for me, the characters are so well designed. Like the low punch is different to the medium punch, and the medium punch is different to the high punch. And it's not really like over time until I played it, until I versed someone amazing at it.
Mm.
They actually tell me all these things, and the reaction time and the blocks and the quick, like the speed of the moves. Like that game is so well balanced and well designed that everyone's got their strong points, everyone's got their weak points, and the damage that it takes off. It's like a game of chess, but fighting. And for me, that Street Fighter has well the trophy on that compared to Mortal Kombat. Like with the character design and the tactics behind it, for me, Street Fighter wins on that.
Interesting. So what you saying? The fighting gameplay.
No, I'm talking about no. For me, a good question, Doggo. For me, the gameplay, I go Mortal Kombat. The gameplay, I go Mortal Kombat actually, but for the tactics, you know what I mean?
Tactics, right.
And the game development behind it, like, because when you think about Street Fighter, right? I feel like in Mortal Kombat, everyone moves kind of at the same pace. Like the speed is kind of the same,
Mm.
but in Mortal Kombat, like if you go Chun Li, you're quick. If you go Vega, you're quick. If you go like E Honda, you're slow, but you damage more power. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So the game is more balanced and more specialist to like proper gamers. Where I feel like Mortal Kombat is just us, and I think that's the reason why it's got better gameplay because it's like a simpler, just beat 'em up kind of game.
You think
But
Mortal Kombat's simpler?
yeah, 100%. Street Fighter is the ultimate tactician fighting game for me.
Wow.
The
Okay.
ultimate tactician fighting game.
Um.
Because in Street Fighter, put it this way, can you teleport through the floor?
No.
No, you can't. It's literally 2D.
Doesn't that
You've got
make Mortal Kombat not as simpler as you just said? You said Mortal Kombat's very simple.
Yes, it is 100%. Because
But
it's no, yeah. Hold on, let me finish. No, because it's a good question. It's simpler in the way that literally you can do bullshit moves. You know what I mean? And knock people out for it. Where in Street Fighter, it's literally 2D. You've got no escaping. You have to use more tactics and technique to defend yourself and attack at the same time.
yeah. Okay. I guess. Okay. Yeah. You're right. In a way, I just think
I mean, what do you
if
think? What do you think? What do you think about the?
someone that has no, I guess, skill at Street Fighter to someone versing someone that actually knows what they're doing, I think the person that has no skill has a chance of beating that person who knows what they're doing just by smashing heaps of buttons and
Yeah,
doing the button mash. But I think in
yeah.
Mortal Kombat you need a bit more skill in the fact you've got to know these moves and when to pull them out. I think the fireballs, the actual, the moves involved of each character actually take a bit of skill to do. You can't just button mash and hope for the best, I reckon, in Mortal Kombat.
That's interesting, man. But I mean, we're not talking about button mash kind of players.
Mm.
Like I'm talking about like, because the thing with Street Fighter, right? For me, Mortal Kombat was easier to learn. Like for me, like this is teleport. This is like
Yeah.
a Sub-Zero move. This is the thing. But in Street Fighter, like you could learn the moves easy, but you have to master them at the right time. You know what I mean? It's all about timing and precision. And yes, Mortal Kombat is about that too. But I feel like just Street Fighter has got more of that. No, I'm sorry, Street Fighter's got more of that. I just think, just tactically, Street Fighter is a better designed game, like the character design, and they took more time in balancing every character out, the weaknesses and the strengths. Like you look at the mixture of Street Fighter compared to Mortal Kombat. Like, do you have a Zangief in Mortal Kombat? Do you have someone super slow but takes really hard moves to do, and that knocks out the power?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, I
you
get you.
don't. Do you see what I'm saying? Like it's more tactical in Street Fighter, where I think where Mortal Kombat really wins against Street Fighter is that Mortal Kombat thought outside the square of Street Fighter. They're just like, no, we're not going 2D. You know what I mean? We're going to create cooler characters, make it more adult based,
Definitely. Yeah.
with the design. And don't get me wrong, Mortal Kombat has some great character designs, like Sub-Zero, man, like Scorpion, get over here, like those are you know, trademark moves and characters.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Two standouts when you think Mortal Kombat are Scorpion and Sub-Zero, really, or Raiden. Raiden's probably the most popular,
Raiden,
or
everyone
Liu
loves
Kang.
Raiden. Easy
Liu
moves.
Kang. You got your list of your first characters you could choose in MK1: Johnny Cage, Kano, Raiden, Liu
Wow.
Kang,
Wow. Yeah. Sonya?
Sub-Zero. Yep,
Son-
Sonya. So there's 7 characters you could choose from MK1, and you could play that for hours just trying to learn every single character's moves.
Yeah.
So
Tell me
much.
about the book, man. Tell the people about this little book that you used to bring up.
Well, the book only eventuated from Mortal Kombat 3, so that's even further down the line.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, But no, I'll even get to that when we start talking about that.
Okay, because I was going to say, ladies and gentlemen, this
Yeah.
guy, he made a multi-million-dollar business out of Mortal
Yeah.
Kombat. This guy.
Before internet, mate.
Yeah.
That's what that was.
But you know, I mean, oh, there, my microphone fell off. Can you still hear me, ladies
Yeah.
and gentlemen?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen. No, but I feel like right from the start. I mean, this is why it's such a good debate because they're actually so different, you know, but they're still so good. But
Yeah.
they're actually so different.
And one of the biggest glaring differences that you were talking about is blood.
Yeah, 100%.
Blood stood out for many gamers at the time when, back in the 90s, basically we're all kids, teenagers, whatever. And you got a fighting game and there is blood and shit pissing out of the characters on pretty much every hit. It was, as a kid, as a teenager, you go, this is cool, man. Look at all that blood, and you go back to Street Fighter, a little bit more cartoonish, no real gory stuff, and especially the big difference of having a fatality to finish the opponent in a gory manner was pretty special at the time as well. So, yeah, the big differences were those big key factors, I reckon.
It was huge, wasn't it? That blood, man, was massive.
Yeah, and you always remember.
The fatality.
Yep. Going another little retro bro story here. We'd go to a little video store up the road, ride our little bikes, and we'd pay $5 for like an hour or 2 hours. Mortal Kombat 1 we could play, and we had the blood code from a magazine we used to collect, and it was Abacab. And we put that blood code in and we could play with blood. And I remember other kids coming around, oh, you got blood code. It was just, it was awesome.
It was unbelievable. I remember that, bro. That's so fun. I can remember like explicitly like getting asked that, man.
Yeah.
100%. Like that's hilarious that you brought that up because I remember that we were playing with the blood code and people were like, oh, how do you play with blood and stuff like that?
Abacab.
Yeah,
AVA.
And speaking about Abacab, I literally done some research, Doggo. I know you're thinking I don't do research, but
nice.
Abacab is actually Phil Collins. I don't know if anyone knows Phil Collins out there, but he's a musician. I just read that. I don't know Phil Collins at all, but he was a musician in the 80s.
You don't know Phil Collins?
No, in the 70s as well. He was a part of a band called Genesis. But they actually had a song called Abacab because that's the order of the chords they use in that song. So
is that right?
B, A, C, A, B, B. Yeah, Abacab. And so they called the song after the chord progression. And one of the developers loved that song, Abacab, and they used that as the code for the blood code, Abacab. Can you believe that?
Dropping info left, right, and center. DJ Thicky.
I'll tell you what, I'm coming with the facts tonight. You know what I mean? I don't muck around. If someone says they're going to debate about video games, I do the research. I get in there.
That's really good.
I've done a bit of research as well.
Just a little bit. And, like I said, the lead up, I've been wanting to talk about this for a long time in depth.
It's been on your mind. It's one of the great debates, man. That's what we said from the start. It
is.
I mean, how can you see? Honestly, I think after tonight we're going to have a better sleep because the debate we've actually discussed it. We've talked about it.
So we go from, let's say, the original Mortal Kombat, the original Street Fighter 2.
Yeah.
And then we skip a couple years. Mortal Kombat 2 appears in the arcades.
Yep.
And soon after in the home consoles of the Genesis and Mega Drive, the Super Nintendos.
Yeah.
And that was a big game changer, in my opinion. I remember getting Mortal Kombat 2 wrapped in Christmas paper under the tree.
Oh, bro. Massive.
And for those of you who have seen my game room, it is still that exact copy of Mortal Kombat 2 on my shelf. And I'm pretty sure it has the big W tag on it as well.
Oh, yeah. I've seen that big W tag.
Yeah, it's and the game is, I think, $119 on a tag.
Wow.
That's how much it freaking cost. And my mum and dad, they fucking got it for me for Christmas, and I was the happiest kid.
I mean, how much is? I mean, that's a lot of money back then, bro.
Yeah.
That's worth like $300, man.
Unreal, hey.
But they know that game was like super expensive.
Well, yeah, I couldn't believe that actually. When thinking about it now, I can't believe I actually bought that for me. That expensive as well.
Yeah. It's massive, isn't it?
Yeah, so, I mean, that was a big game changer as well. I think you still had like the Street Fighter Championship Edition out and stuff like that, which I guess was, obviously you could play the bosses and stuff like that, but bringing in extra characters like Mortal Kombat 2 did, from 7, jump from 4, 5, 6, 7 to an extra 5 more characters. That's pretty awesome. It brought in...
That's massive.
Yeah, brought in a reptile, which we never seen before.
Reptile's massive, yeah.
Kung Lao.
How about Kung Lao came in?
Yeah, and the two sisters, Katana and Melina.
That's right. Huge.
Yep. So, and Jax, that was another new one.
Yeah, Jax was like the all-American.
Yeah.
Wasn't he kind of guy, yeah.
Yeah. So there's few new characters coming in. So I think we saw Reptile. Was Reptile in the original Mortal Kombat as a boss? I think he was.
Was he?
Yeah.
I can't remember that. No, because I remember there was Goro. There was Shao Kahn, Goro, and weren't they the two bosses in the original?
Yeah, Goro and Shao Kahn or Shang Tsung.
Yeah.
Shang Tsung.
Yeah, Shang Tsung and Goro Shao Kahn, I think it was.
Oh, we could play Shang Tsung in number 2 as well. Yeah. So
yeah, Shao Kahn was the ultimate, mate. He's the Mr. Invincible, mate. Because you could never play Shao Kahn, remember?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's right. But you can't play Shao Kahn in number 2 though.
No, I don't think you can. But could you play
boss.
Goro? I know you could play Goro in one.
Yeah, that's later on. Yeah. I think you might be talking about Shiva.
Yes, yeah. No, I mean actual Goro, couldn't you?
Yeah, maybe in Ultimate or Trilogy, I think it was.
Yeah. Yeah, wow, there you go.
But MK2, yeah, so actually kicked off, I think Kano didn't make the cut.
Was Baraka in there? No, Kano didn't make it, right?
And Sonya got left out as well.
Yeah, because no one liked Sonya. Like, she was crap.
Yeah, well, that's what we thought. Yeah, we didn't like her.
Well, remember, what was it? Sonya. Did Sonya have a fireball?
She did. Yeah, it was like a couple of springs. She would shoot some springs.
That's right. I remember that, bro.
So Mortal Kombat 2 brought the in-game like stage fatalities where you could uppercut them into
That was massive. That was massive. We all love that.
Yeah, into the acid or off the bridge into the spikes down below. So that almost made it really interesting. And then, of course, the big upgrade from fatalities, you actually had babalities, friendships, and stuff like that. So that made it completely...
Was that number 2, was it?
Yeah, number 2 had friendships.
That was number 3.
No, I'm pretty sure it was number 2.
You got the research here. It sounds like you got the facts here.
I'm just actually going off memory, but no, my memory is correct. Babalities and friendships were Mortal Kombat 2.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. I've literally just looked it up, but you're 100% right.
Number 3 actually came in with the animalities and stuff.
It says here in Mortal Kombat 2, there were several changes in standard moves. A crouching punch was added. Low and high kicks have greater differentiation. Roundhouse kicks are more powerful, knocking an opponent across the screen like the game's uppercut.
There you go. See, that's what you know what, ladies and gentlemen, you don't really think about these things. No, you don't. Like, you're just like, oh, I love this game, I'm going to buy it. I love this game, I'm going to buy it. And that could be any franchise, like even talking about today, like Grand Theft Auto 1, 2, 3, FIFA 95, 96, 97, 98. Like, it's interesting, the developers actually do something behind that, don't they? You know what I mean? Yeah.
They actually really think about what's going on.
No, definitely, man. So, yeah, I guess from Mortal Kombat 2, I think there was such a bigger change or more characters. I guess the fatalities was such a big difference as well from the change that they made on Street Fighter, right? They went Street Fighter Championship Edition, added the bosses. That's cool. You actually go the bosses this time. Like controlling Vega, jumping onto the cage was pretty awesome.
Yeah, that was wicked. That was cool.
But you had to be on his stage, obviously. Being able to control Sagat, which had all the Tiger uppercuts and actual stuff like that. Bison using his Psycho Crusher.
That I mean, Bison was for me unstoppable, bro.
Yeah.
Because he could just slide across the screen, Psycho Crusher. I mean, he was unbeatable.
And let's be honest, not many people liked using Balrog. But I did. I reckon I mastered Balrog, and I reckon I
You
could
did.
beat a
You
lot
did.
of people with him.
It's actually scary because Balrog really has just got punches, man. That's all he's got. He's a boxer. He's a boxer, and it actually scares me how good you are with Balrog, man. You are, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you right now, not because everyone thinks, oh, Balrog easy win. Let me tell you something. When you're versing this guy, it's a hard win.
Yeah,
It
because people
really is.
underestimate his punches and the reach. He's got such a good reach. They
Yeah, that's true.
underestimate that. And he's
Yeah, but
powerful. If you connect any punches,
yeah, yeah.
fucking
I think
powerful.
too. Like if someone knows how to tactically play Balrog, I think you're in trouble.
Yeah,
If someone doesn't really know, you've got to, because that reach is killer, and you can't get close. And if you time it perfectly, you can't get close, mate.
yep.
And that's what I'm saying. That's what I've talked about before, right from the start. Like, there's all these things, in Street Fighter where you can tell they've thought about it, doggo.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? That's why they made Zangief super slow. But if he does a spinning pile driver, he can take like 3/4 of your energy off you,
Yeah,
because they know that move is so hard to pull off. But if you can pull it off,
yeah.
good on you.
That's it, man. Um,
Yeah,
so I guess in Street Fighter Two Championship Edition, you could control the speed of the game. You could actually make it heaps faster as well,
yeah,
which made it pretty damn cool fun. Like, it was awesome.
yeah. That was
You
cool.
turn the stars up and you could just go super quick and have quick
That was
fights.
cool. And the handicap, there was handicap as well.
Yep. Handicaps, and I think they added a few extra moves for certain characters. I'm pretty sure, anyway. I'm pretty sure Blanca had a couple of extra moves where he could go up and down. From memory, and I'm just going off memory here, there wasn't too much of a change from character moves and stuff, except that. So
No, it wasn't.
yeah, the game did feel upgraded from the original because it was faster and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, probably not as dramatic of an upgrade as Mortal Kombat 2, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah. So what do you think? You think Mortal Kombat 2 is better?
I'm just thinking change-wise, because if we're sticking to, those Street Fighters and our Mortal Kombats, the difference between Mortal Kombat 1 and 2, I think, was quite significant.
Oh, it was huge. It was massive.
Yeah.
I mean, I think just with the character development and stuff like that as well, I think was massive. I mean, put it this way: when Mortal Kombat 2 came out, I was like, "Fuck Mortal Kombat 1." Do you mean like Mortal Kombat 2 made me forget about Mortal Kombat 1?
Yeah.
Because I was just like, this is so much better, And I love that when game developers, they make a game, you just like, you forget about, because when someone, I don't know about you, Doggo, but usually when someone makes another game, you know what I mean? Usually if it's that good, you do forget about the first one because you move on.
Yep.
Don't you? Or then you just go, this one's shit, I'd rather play the old one. Right? Is that how you go? Or
Yeah, that's right. I mean, yeah, you stick with what's awesome, what you're having most fun on, really.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, I guess what can we go? Moving on to the next game.
Yeah.
Look, Mortal Kombat 3, released in arcades in 1995.
Now we're talking, ladies and gentlemen. Come on.
So
Come on, someone's got.
1995. I remember lining up at a time zone and noticing this through the windows.
Yeah.
And my excitement level peaked as a little boy. I was excited.
You were happy, mate. You were happy
because I loved playing Mortal Kombat 2. I had it for Christmas. I remember playing it at Big W on a Sega stand. My mum and dad would go late night shopping and they'd be shopping for around groceries. There was a Sega stand in the middle of Big W and I was playing Mortal Kombat 2 and I knew some fatalities. I remember playing Jax and I was ripping dudes' arms off and little kids around me was like, oh man, that's so cool. You know his fatality? I was like, yeah, I do. So Mortal Kombat 2.
You're still smiling about this.
Yeah.
Still smiling about that now.
Little memories like that stick in your head.
Actually still love it. Like you still love it, don't you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like like, I was the best, mate. I was the king of Joondalup shops, mate. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah,
So
look at
Mortal Kombat 2 had a special place in my heart, but then to see Mortal Kombat 3 in 1995 when it came out, I was a happy kiddo.
you were, man. I remember we used to, ladies and gentlemen, we spoke about this before and other things, but we used to call these things called super sessions. You know, there were 2 hours, $10, and unlimited gaming. They'd put all the games on free credits, and we literally got there half an hour before. I remember losing it at my mum because we didn't get there half an hour before. I was like, we got to make it in time. We got to make it in time. You know,
Yep.
because we always wanted to be the first one in, didn't we, Doggo?
Yeah,
We always wanted to be the
definitely.
first one in. And I remember when we saw it, like even though we're not talking about Killer Instinct, but I remember when we saw that through the window and we're like, oh my God.
Mm.
You know, so all this stuff. So, I mean, yeah. And I remember when we saw Mortal Kombat 3, we were so excited, weren't we?
Yeah, and it would have, I can't remember, but it probably was one of the first games we ran up to play. One of the glaring things that we first noticed was there was an extra button, and it was called the run button. We're like, what the fuck? You can run.
Very, very interesting. And that's another thing I want to bring up too, is the block.
Yes.
No, Mortal Kombat, and it's not a minor thing, ladies and gentlemen. Like, it's a huge thing when it comes to the gameplay of the game. The block button versus just the holding back button is massive.
A lot harder.
Because in Mortal Kombat, you don't really have that many hold back charge moves. You got like hold low kick, hold high kick. You know, because in Street Fighter you don't have hold high kick.
You know what? In Mortal Kombat, I don't even think there is a hold back for 2 seconds move. I'm just trying to think.
It's all about back, forward, forward, back, forward. You know, up, down. You know, like. So it was a different kind of gameplay, and I think because the Mortal Kombat developers would have thought about the hold back block button, but they had to come up with something different. You know, and they did it well, I think.
Yeah. I guess it depends. I mean, obviously, it's a lot harder to push a button to block than just hold back, I reckon.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And I think that's why a lot of people. I think sometimes why people like Mortal Kombat. I think one of the reasons why, because the block button and the run button was a very interesting. And I used to love watching people in arcade use the run button.
Yes.
Because it's a very strong. If you can use it right, Doggo, it's a very strong move.
Yeah, it surprises people more than you think, and people just running straight up to you real quick. It's like, what the fuck? Right in their face. Because sometimes, you know, you can get into those long distance battles where you're just trying to do fireballs at each other and whatnot. And if you just charge someone with the run button, it surprises them.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Because and that's, I think, in both games, you know, with if you're blocking and they get close, you can do the throws.
Yep.
Is that right?
That's right. And that's in both games, right? If you're just sitting there blocking, you can just walk up to them and throw them.
Yeah. And that's a huge, you know, and I remember ladies and gentlemen, we've got a friend called Seb, a very good Street Fighter player. And I remember when I was playing him, he would just always do that to me. You know what I mean? He would somehow pin me, you know, and then he would just come forward, bang.
Yes,
You know?
yes.
And it's such a strong move.
And it's funny, Seb, because it's funny only the last few years since I've started, you know, getting good friends with him and actually having a few games against him. He's brought a whole new world of tactics from his Street Fighter to my tactics when I've been playing, because I always thought I'm pretty good at fighting games, and even just playing against him, he's brought this whole new tactics of these combos that you can do with using low punch, medium punch, not fully knocking them back. You know, you do a few mediums in here, medium punch, and that's something I never really do, using medium punches and small punches. I always go for the heavies and try and maximize those damages. Yeah,
that's true. Like, and remember when we the first ever combo we figured out. Remember, in fighting game history, Retro Bros, I'm talking about when we were really young, was the jump high kick into the trip.
Yeah, the ultimate 1-2.
The first ever 1-2, and remember that was like boom boom.
And I think that's stuck with us since we're now like you know 30 odd.
Because you have to do the high block, low block.
Yeah,
remember, you
right.
have to do the high block, low block.
That's right. And that's what Seb's tricked me on now that I've versed him. He comes in with that high kick, so I'm blocking high.
Yeah.
And then I'm automatically, because I'm so used to it, holding down diagonal block. And because he knows I'm doing that, he just walks up to me and throws me. It's like, fuck.
So how does that happen? Say again.
You know what I mean? So if you're coming at me with a kick, I'm going to naturally hold back to block it.
Yeah.
And because I'm so used to that 1-2 combo that me and you have grown up doing,
Yeah.
I'll automatically go to the low block as well.
Yeah.
And then but then he's still thinking, what? He just comes in with that high kick, and then walks up to me and just throws me.
Very interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, and it pissed me off. But speaking of combos, DJ,
Yeah.
MK3 brought in the combo system. Predefined sequences used to perform a series of consecutive attacks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which changed the game big time as well.
Look, bro, I hope you brought up this, because this is something that's very, very important, you know, and this is one of the deciding factors for me in making my final decision, you know, in games is the combo factor. The combo factor brought a whole new level, you know what I mean, of gameplay. It did, you know, it changed Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat on a whole new level, didn't it?
Yeah,
you know,
I think
Street Fighter's got little combos, but not like, you know, like the super combo plays, you know. And then you had to learn all the combos for the characters and stuff, and some of them, you know, like Cabal's combo, you know, to get it perfectly is tough. You know, that we're not talking like easy peasy Japanese combos, mate.
Yep.
You know, we're talking about if you get a full combo, you know, you got to make it happen, don't you? You know, you got to get it done right, and for me, the combo thing was one of the best ever inventions in these 2D fighting games back in the day, bro. It was a great invention, and whoever came up with it was a superstar.
He's a superstar.
Yeah. Well, for me, it was massive, wasn't it, Doggo? Didn't you love it?
Yeah, combo system. Yeah, it was definitely. I mean, we've gone from Mortal Kombat 1, pretty slow paced sort of game. Mortal Kombat 2 introduced, you know, a semi sort of combos, but not really. But then a proper combo system in MK3, where a combination of buttons would give you, like, you know, maximum combos. And that was an addictive part of the game as well, learning and perfecting each character's combos. Just cemented the game even more as to one of our favourites. But then, see, this is where the argument comes into, well, then why don't you talk about like an X-Men versus Street Fighter? Because that was a very, very popular game. And it was only came out in around 1996 from looking at the records here.
Well, we can talk about it, but it's just not...
Because that's a very combo-heavy game as well.
I know, but the reason why we can't talk about it is because that's not the title of the game. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, that's not the title of the game. Like, we're talking about Street Fighter, just Street Fighter versus Mortal Kombat. You know, and look, and we could talk about everything now. You know, like later on, because remember Mortal Kombat went 3D as well, and that brought a whole new.
Yeah, we're not even going to go into
some
that.
People, I know, but some people actually like 3D fighting, and I don't like it. I've never liked it, and I never will like it. But I think going back to Mortal Kombat 3 and the combos, I mean, Doggo, I think for me, when I'm playing in combo and versing you or versing other people at the arcade, I remember getting caught in a combo, and there's nothing you can do about it. So it actually changes your style as well. Like, you need to... Like, if you know someone that knows their combos, you can't get too close to them, you know? So it brought more tactics into it as well, for me. And it was fun, because, like, how good does it feel when you fucking do a 10-piece combo to your opponent? I mean, how good does it feel?
Yeah, it was good.
It feels good. It actually brought more enjoyment for me to the game as well.
Yeah. And the combo system brought out something that we sort of touched on earlier in the podcast, was my booklet.
Yeah.
And going to the arcades, I guess so. We used to collect video game magazines back in the 90s, as most kids did. No internet, pre-internet days, ladies and gentlemen, or kids listening.
Yeah.
Pre-internet, you have to get magazines, and that's where you get your cheats, your info, all that sort of stuff of games coming up. And I must have had a decent magazine, and it had all the characters' moves, combos, fatalities, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember, what's the best way we could I didn't really want to lug around a big magazine to an arcade.
No, you can't do that.
No, you can't do that.
walk around
You
with a
look like a
magazine. No, you
dickhead.
can't do that. Exactly. People go, who the fuck is this guy with a magazine?
Exactly. So the best idea was to make as small as a little booklet as you could. So I made up on just bits of paper, a couple of staples, and a little booklet could fit in your little wallet or in your pocket, and you just whip it out, and every page is all the characters with their moves, fatalities, combos, and it was just the greatest way to just, you know, I guess look like a professional as a kid to just go, yeah, I know all the moves. And it was awesome. It was such a good memory.
You loved it, didn't you?
Yeah. And I remember selling 1 or 2 of the books to a couple of kids at school, and I made them $5 each. So
yeah, I remember that, mate.
Yeah, I always love that little
like,
story.
You're feeling like a boss, weren't you?
Yeah, definitely.
You were feeling like a champ, mate. No, well, $5 back in that day, mate. They could get you, 5 choc milks or something like that.
Got me a game on the weekend, and I was happy.
Big money, mate. Big money.
So to step up, we had Sindel join us in MK3.
Oh, Sindel, yeah.
Kano made a return from missing out on number 2.
Yeah, that's true.
And we had the faceless subby, a Sub-Zero without his mask, and that was unique.
Yeah, what do you think about that?
I was interested. I was like, oh, that's what Sub-Zero looks like,
Because you love Subby. You've always loved Subby.
Everyone loves a bit of Subby.
Why do you think that's a good question. Like, why, like, let's say Ryu Ken, right? People love Ryu or Ryu, however, whatever the correct way is to pronounce it, but Ryu, and Ken and Subby, like, they're mostly the two people go-to characters.
Do you think Ryu and Ken are the equivalent of Sub-Zero and Scorpion?
100%, bro. I can tell you right now, they're probably brothers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you put Scorpion in a, like, what do you call those robes or whatever? What do they wear? Like, what's the thing called?
It's just a ninja fucking robe.
Like a ninja outfit or whatever it's called.
Mm.
Yeah, I can guarantee that they look exactly the same, bro.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, they're all brothers. They're all related. Like, I think, why is that? Why? I mean, the moves are not simple.
No, they're very they're very different. Sub-Zero, Scorpion, moves wise. But yeah, I mean, Mortal Kombat 3, you got the robots, Cyrax and Sector came into it.
Yeah. Now this is where, for me, I think sometimes where I'm like, they really went out there with this one, but it proved to work though. When you think, everyone thought, fireballs, because Street Fighter, the original, had fireballs and Hadoukens and stuff like that,
Yep.
But then, and even like original Mortal Kombat, with Subby and stuff, it had, fireball, like ice, that kind of thing.
Yep.
But now you start bringing missiles in, cage nets, Cabal with the little, what do you call that little, spike thing that goes through the floor.
Introducing Cabal as another character.
All these different kinds of things. Look, it really went another level for me, but it turned out to be great. Like, as I said, I think they learnt from Street Fighter and they got the tactics a bit better. I mean, but Cyrax, Doggo, you're very Cyrax in Mortal Kombat. I mean, he's a shit character, but sometimes he wins.
I get you. But then, you think about it, you look at the Mortal Kombat 3 character list, there's a lot of new faces with Cyrax,
massive.
Nightwolf, Shiva, Kung Lao, Cabal, Striker. I mean, there's a lot of new faces here, eh? It's like, whoa.
Yeah, I really think they really put the pressure on Mortal Kombat. And because I think Killer Instinct was coming. What year did that come out?
Which one?
Mortal Kombat 3.
Mortal Kombat 3 came out in 1995 in arcades. Wow, because what time I wonder when Killer Instinct came out, because... Very similar. Very
because
similar.
I think Mortal Kombat 3 really put its foot down. You know what I mean? And they really wanted to go with a wider audience base, I think.
Yeah.
And they really went conventional fighting and arcade, and they really went out there with a different kind of character. They still kept a lot of the originals, but I think they were really trying to get a new market as well, because they had all the hardcore fans, from the original Mortal Kombat. So now they just brought more characters out, and I think that'd draw more of a crowd in.
Killer
Yeah,
Instinct.
that's my understanding of it. That's my understanding of it.
Yeah, no, that's good. I definitely went for the more adulty style of teenagers and stuff like that. But
they definitely did, bro. Mortal Kombat was always the adult based game, and I think, and as I said right from the start, Street Fighter is more of the gamers kind of true fighting game.
Funny enough, Killer Instinct was 1994.
Sorry?
Killer Instinct was 1994 to 1995.
Yeah, because I know they kind of came out around the same time. Because we love Killer Instinct as well, but as I said, Mortal Kombat is a faster moving fighting game. You know?
Yeah.
It had more adult-based things, you know, fatalities, babality. I felt like it was more easier to learn, you know, Street Fighter, and just do different characters. And the thing is, you know, with Mortal Kombat, like, remember, like, you go Scorpion, like, teleport through the back of the screen, you get uppercut into another level, you know, uppercut into the spikes, babalities, friendships. Like, it was just, you know, in Street Fighter, you know, it's either perfect, you know, like, it's just a true fighting game. There's none of this other, you know, stuff. So I don't know, man.
But it's kind of like you basically kind of got to stop there, right, with Mortal Kombat 3, because then you can go to Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, which adds shitloads more characters, like another Scorpion. You got Ermac, you've got Rain, you got Noob Saibot, even Jade comes into it as well. It's far out. There's just a whole bunch of new characters. So you kind of got to just draw a line somewhere. And we drew that line, Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3. Yeah. But is that fair?
I think it is fair. Because I look, it's a very good question you asked there, Doggo. And at that stage where Street Fighter was, you know, I didn't want any more characters. Like, I was content with those characters. And also Mortal Kombat, I didn't want any more characters, Doggo. I think the character, there was enough. And I feel like Mortal Kombat 3, they didn't need all of those either, to be honest. Like, Mortal Kombat 3, like, they could have got rid of some characters, you know?
Yeah.
Because I remember Kimbo, who's one of our mates, who he was Ermac, was it, or Rain?
Yeah, that's
right. He was a monster with one of those characters, man. I think it was Ermac. I think he destroyed us.
Yeah.
He took us to the cleaners.
I'd take him now, but you know. But
you reckon you could take Kimbo?
Yeah, of course I could, mate. He always thought he was the best, but
big call.
But then you probably got to bring in Super Street Fighter 2. You remember Super?
Yeah, I remember Super.
You know, with Cammy and DJ and Furlong.
Yeah.
And T-Hawk or whatever. I mean, that's an extra bunch of characters.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
Because that was still at around... Geez, when did that come out? It would have been around 96, I reckon.
Yeah.
96, 97.
Yeah, I remember that. Well, that's a bit too far for me, though, bro, you know?
Really?
Yeah.
Let's have a look.
It's a bit too far for me, man.
Too far? But wait a second. Originally released in the arcade in 1993. Nah. Can't be right.
You're talking about like Tomahawk?
2. Yeah, Tomahawk.
No, that's way past, man. Nah. Anything more than Bison and stuff, nah.
Really?
Yeah, that's a bit too far for me, Doggo. Like, I think, you know, I think most people think Street Fighter. They don't think all those characters, man. Like, I know, I remember the name, but I can't even tell you what he looks like.
Super Street Fighter 2, the new challenges, Super Nintendo Entertainment System, 1994. That fucking surprises me. So that's got to be in the equation of this list, man, because it's 1994 that game came out.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a big wow. I didn't think it was that early.
Wow, that's crazy, isn't it?
So
I can't believe that.
I think it's just because of our gaming history. We never really played it that much.
Yeah. Wow.
Huh. Super Street Fighter 2, the new challenges.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
Yeah, I'm actually really struggling to find a a good bit of like wiki information on it.
Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it?
Super Street Fighter 2. Maybe. I don't know, maybe that is right. That's unreal. I'm blown away by that date. Okay, that's definitely in the equation. So yeah. Well, there you go. That's a pretty good rundown. You got any other little tidbits to throw at me there?
No, I don't.
Okay. Hidden contact. Yeah. That was a good thing about bloody Mortal Kombat as well. It's got all the little Easter eggs and hidden games amongst it as well, which was really fun. Do you remember in Mortal Kombat 3 you could actually play Galaga and stuff like that? You put a little code at the front of it and it brings you to
Galaga?
Play Galaga, yeah. Do you not remember that?
No? What?
Yeah,
what was
yeah.
this?
Yeah, that was awesome.
Really?
There's also a hidden game of Pong in Mortal Kombat 2.
I can't remember that.
Yeah, little Easter eggs that they put in, like even shit like that, just shows you the characters of like Noob Saibot or say whatever his name is.
Wow.
Tobias and that. Just thought different. Put a lot of effort into their games.
Wow.
But I think ultimately, at the end of the day, man, it's probably obvious for anyone listening to this podcast. If you're still listening, thank you. But it's probably obvious as to which way we're leaning towards here.
No. What do you think I'm going, mate?
I think you're going Mortal Kombat.
100%. And I think you're going more Street Fighter.
No.
Really? Because I know you respect the tactics of Street Fighter. I know Street Fighter. You know, you've got the limited edition Super Nintendo. It's a very special game to you, Doggo. You know, and
definitely is.
You know, and you love the Street Fighter battles.
Yeah, I definitely do.
Well, if I said to you right now, let's have a Street Fighter battle or let's have a Mortal Kombat battle, you're telling me right now you would choose the Mortal Kombat battle.
Yeah.
Would you?
Yeah. You don't think I would?
I know, but I know you love Street Fighter, bro.
I do, and that's the problem. I hold them, both those games or gameses, very close to my heart because as a kid growing up in the 90s, retro games, those games were big in my life. So
this is a very interesting topic, you know. Like I love talking about this. It's a good choice, Doggo, with the discussion here because I love how so passionate we're about it, you know? Like it's very, very interesting. So tell me what other say 3 main reasons why you think that solidifies you choosing Mortal Kombat?
Well, this is the thing, man. The problem, this is why I keep going back to it. It's hard to, because we're only talking about Street Fighter 2, and there's not as many changes along the way from Street Fighter 2 as there is in Mortal Kombat. So it's very tough, isn't it? Unless you do a whole podcast evolving around just Street Fighter 2 versus Mortal Kombat, the original.
Yeah.
That might sway our opinions. Do you reckon? If we were just to leave it onto that, Mortal Kombat 1 versus Street Fighter 2 Championship.
Oh, Street Fighter, easy.
Do you know what I mean?
Easy.
So, yeah. You would take Street Fighter, right, over Mortal Kombat?
100%.
The original Mortal Kombat.
100% I would.
That's interesting. That's really interesting. I don't know if I don't know. I don't know if I would.
Well, you wouldn't take it.
I probably would. I'm just looking at it now, and the original Mortal Kombat. I mean, as fond as memories as I've got playing that game, you would probably say Street Fighter 2. And so that means that the reason why we're choosing Mortal Kombat is because of the later franchises of it, and especially number 3.
Yeah.
Don't you reckon?
Yeah, I agree.
So if we take out Mortal Kombat 3 from the equation and just say Mortal Kombat 1 and 2 versus Street Fighter 2 and Turbo.
So take out Mortal Kombat 3. So yeah, no, I'd probably go Mortal Kombat because I love Mortal Kombat 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Well, in that case, Mortal Kombat wins because then you kind of, if you're eliminating that and you still say Mortal Kombat,
Yeah.
And so do I, because I love Mortal Kombat 2 as well. Yeah.
It's a really good it's a really good topic. For me, Mortal Kombat wins just on a few factors. One, I like because it's faster than Street Fighter. I like because of the combos. I liked of the combos.
Yeah.
Combo, and I love the fatality and like the move at the end, the final blow.
Yep.
And for me, the gameplay. Though all those factors, look, for me, I cannot look. I love the characters in Mortal Kombat, and I love the characters in Street Fighter. I can't diss Street Fighter. Yes, Mortal Kombat's got some cool fucking characters, And to be honest, I like Mortal Kombat better than Street Fighter, but I cannot go away of how well developed those characters are. And I like how they got it from each country, like Blanca from Brazil, I love that. They actually kind of made it like a worldwide fighting game. And I think that's another, because, with the Outworld or whatever they call it in Mortal Kombat, where all these people are from, in Street Fighter, like they made it like worldwide, you know what I mean? Like one from every country. It was a very clever, and I cannot go past, as I said right from the start, that the character design in Street Fighter is one of the best still to this day for me in character design, because everything back at that time, for what they had to develop games with back then, Doggo, to develop something like that is just unbelievable. But for me, gameplay and gameplay is the most important thing in gaming. Like what makes you stay and want to play a game, And Mortal Kombat had it for me.
Yep. Well said.
Yeah. Look, for me, if you said Subby versus Subby or, Ken versus Ken, I would want to watch a Subby versus Subby. If you said, no, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, good point.
No, like if I watched two people and you said, like, who's another Mortal Kombat character, like a popular Mortal Kombat character?
Raiden's
Scorpion.
Yeah,
if you said Scorpion versus Scorpion versus, Chun-Li versus
Blanca.
Yeah, I would want to watch the Scorpion battle. And
just means do you think the characters are better, I guess. That's what it is.
Yeah. And honestly as well, you can say it was more adult based, like the whole blood and stuff like that. It was just a very clever game.
I think more adult based sways us big time as well. I think that's what it is too.
100%. 100%.
And it's so cool because we have such vivid memories growing up as kids with our first Street Fighter experiences and our first Mortal Kombat experiences. And they're both great. They're both fantastic. They both have huge parts in our lives. We both love their games. But on this debate, we are both going Mortal Kombat. Yes, Mortal Kombat.
100%. Yeah.
100%. Well, that's it, man.
Beautiful. Well, Mortal Kombat is the winner. You know what? This debate's been going on for how long now? When it came, 1992 came out. Yeah. So 27 years it's been, man. 27 years since we hired a fucking Super Nintendo from the video shop, man. Does that blow your mind or what?
It's unreal.
It is unreal, isn't it?
And we've clocked the debate.
Yeah. 100%.
So no one in the world needs to talk about it. They just need to listen to this podcast.
That's what I'm saying. They just need to actually listen and get an education on it, that Mortal Kombat is better than Street Fighter. But I can tell you something. I mean, I would have to go in more detail. Like overall, if we started talking about all the other versions, I mean, I would have to do a full analysis. But, Street Fighter might have it. Because I do like the Street Fighter vs. X-Men in the tag team kind of style. I love that. That was wicked. And that's just, once again, game developers getting the one up on each other.
Yeah, and my expertise in the latest ones are zero. So I can't really talk about them at all. So there you go.
There you go. That's it.
All right. Well, you know what? I think this is a pretty good episode. Brocast, episode 3 with Doggo and DJ Thicky. we are done and dusted. Mortal Kombat versus Street Fighter. Tell us what you guys
mate.
think in comments or messages, whatever.
You give us the heads up. Let us know.
Yeah, let us know. And we are done for episode 3, baby. There's going to be more episodes coming soon. Don't worry about that. DJ think he's got a good mic. He's got his shit sorted. We're rocking and rolling 2019.
It's a nice mic, mate. This audio sounds good.
It does. It sounds very, very sexy. And Dion, Mr. D, Double D, will be joining us very soon as well for more action. Beautiful. The next subject is very interesting. I'm sure you guys will like it at home.
Yeah, we're going to go binge-worthy TV shows, Doggo.
Is that
Top
right?
10.
Oh, shit.
That's what we're doing.
I wasn't going to spoil it, but that's all right. It's just been spoiled.
Well, no. Well, sorry, mate. I thought you paused for me to say something.
It's
but you didn't tell me, bro. You didn't give me
It's a cliffhanger.
Sorry. Well, can't you cut it?
No, I'm not cutting. There's no cutting. We ain't
The only thing you're cutting, mate, is giving me that $90 out of that $100, mate. 90%.
Oh, shit. All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining us. Find us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. We got our own Retro Bros merch. If you haven't checked that out, it's at Redbubble. Type in Retro Bros 1 on redbubble.com. You can find our merch, mate. You can buy a clock for your room, like with Retro Bros on it. You can buy a fucking, a phone case if you want. Every time you pick up your phone, you'll see Retro Bros. I mean, how cool's that?
Yeah, that's wicked. Yeah. What else do you want, Doggo?
What else do you want, mate? I can tell you what else you want. You can have a shirt. You can have, you can have everything. Stickers.
Mate, we're taking over the world, mate.
Retro Bros.
We're going strong.
On redbubble.com. It's a
and
great
we're talking about the important topics. Like, this is an important topic.
It is, absolutely.
Yeah, don't worry about paying your mortgage. Just listen to this.
And another little thing you guys can do if you want to support the Retro Bros is check us out on Patreon, because we did launch it about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago. We got a few peeps joining us, and we thank them so much. We thank Intrigue Gaming, who was a great supporter of us. He is one of the top Patreon supporters of us. And thank you, John Talbot, for that one. And guys, we're done. We're out of here.
We're out.
DJ Thicky, it's been a pleasure. Until next time.
It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure chatting to you, Doggo, even though you're 35 meters.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Peace, everyone.
Thanks for being there. All right. See you, buddy.